have just 1 hour to cook a 2-course meal of their own design. Only one of them will win a place in the quarter-final later in the show. Young banker Sheridan is aiming high with an ambitious and technical menu.
What are you cooking?
I am cooking Langoustine Ravioli with a Langoustine sauce and lamb with a port and ginger sauce with potato rosties.
But are you sure about timing here, Sheridan?
I've done it a few times and I have managed to do it, so yeah.
She's got 3 times as many ingredients on her bench as anybody else. Can she do it?
I think that Sheridan's very brave for that menu. I think it's also quite difficult in a situation like this where your nerves go on you.
Sheridan, you're going to finish on time?
I really, really hope so. I think just about.
3 minutes! Come on, Sheridan, that's it. On the plate, please. Go, no, now. Seriously, now. That's it, time's up.
Has Sheridan pulled off her ambitious menu of Langoustine Ravioli with a Langoustine sauce, followed by lamb with a ginger and port sauce and potato rosti?
Sheridan?
Yes.
God, it was a close-run thing, wasn't it?
It was a bit of a close shave, wasn't it?
Langoustine, tarragon, wonderful flavours inside that filling. The sauce is like drinking a glass of langoustine milk, which is not pleasant at all. Your sauce is too thin.
Yep.
It hasn't got enough flavour in it, which is a terrible shame. You were running out of time. Your pasta is light as a feather, beautifully made, beautifully cooked. That is so nearly a lovely dish.
I'm quite disappointed. I was rushed. I was panicked.
Again, like the starter, we've got problems with your sauce. I mean, it's split and it's not thick enough, and that's because you just ran out of time. You get crunch of potato and then softer potato, like a good rosti should. The lamb is cooked absolutely perfectly. That is a couple of steps away from a really gorgeous dish. Great lamb, really well cooked lamb, really well seasoned lamb. I think there is a couple of things that are difficult to forgive here, because the dish is going to be held together by that sauce.
Yeah.
And you're saying to us you want to stay around. Have you done enough?
I hope I've done enough. I know the sauces are not right, and I know they've gone wrong.
Jeff's hoping to impress with his distinctive halloumi and asparagus pancakes, followed by salmon on a red pepper sauce with dauphinoise potatoes and baby carrots.
I think in flavour terms it delivers. It's not something I'm used to, but you're quite a fascinating cook in the way you think, Jeff. Well, it really shouldn't work. All the laws of good dining say it's complete madness, but it actually tastes OK. For me, one too many flavours. I don't feel as though that cream sauce with that pepper and the salmon works together. You've got a very confused mush in your mouth, Jeff. That's not working.
Darren's hoping to win with a classic dish of calf's liver on celeriac mash with roasted shallots and a red wine jus, followed by chocolate fondant and raspberries.
It looks great. The liver, thankfully, is the style of the show, and it's so rich and so delicious with the shallot, which is there and sweet, that's really pleasant. Rich, rich iron of that really well-cooked liver. Yeah, it's a man's dish. It's a very good man's dish as well, Darren.
Thank you.
I like the bit of chocolate. I love the raspberries. I love the cream. Raspberry first, sweet but tart, into deep, deep, lovely chocolatey flavour. Now, I think that is pretty well balanced.
OK.
They now have to cook a 2-course meal of their own design. Only one will win a place in the quarter-final. Perfectionist Julie is hoping her traditional dishes will be fault-free.
Julie, I want to know what you're doing.
Pan fried sea bass with fennel and tomatoes, and then I'm making an apricot clafouti.
It is, in a way, quite classic.
Yeah, I do like my food quite simple. I like to be able to taste the individual ingredients.
So how do you stand out in the crowd?
Just by cooking it really well.
I love the sound of Julie's menu. Sea bass, clafouti, go on, girl, bring it on.
Sales manager Jason wants to prove he can pack flavour in by cooking a Thai starter and a European main course.
We've got Thai crab cakes with a dipping sauce, and then we've got a roasted chicken with mushroom sauce with sauteed potatoes and baby leeks.
What marks you out as a quarter-finalist?
I've got a good palate and I can do more than one thing.
Well, Jason's food better taste good, because it reads pretty safe to me. That better be delivered on flavour. Just 5 minutes!
Education officer Nova is bringing together lots of different ingredients to impress the judges.
What are you cooking for us, Nova?
Asparagus with a duck head with the sauce hollandaise, with some truffle oil dressing, a few parmesan shavings. And then for main course, I'm doing pan-seared halibut with some cockles and mussels in a white wine cream vermouth sauce with a few peas thrown through at the end.
There seems to be lots of ingredients in here whereby we start with quite classic dishes and then we're adding other bits to it. Are the additions your additions?
A seafood in my stomach, and I visualise it, and I think what goes well, and just bring it together, and I don't know why and where it comes from.
It has one ingredient on each dish too many. They now have to deliver on flavour because they are so complex, but they have to be very, very subtle.
Only 2 minutes left! Your time is up.
Julie has made pan-fried fillet of wild sea bass with baked fennel and tomatoes, sautéed new potatoes and fennel sauce, followed by apricot clafouti with creme fraiche.
The fish is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Not overpowering. The sauce is not overpowering. Your potatoes aren't cooked enough.
No.
It's a shame about the potatoes because the rest of it's absolutely wonderful. Meaty, strong fish, back out, slight fennel finish. Good palate, well balanced, well done.
Tell us about your clafouti.
I forgot to put the sugar in my clafouti batter.
So we're going to have a bit of a problem unless these apricots are the sweetest apricots in the world. Here we go. I still want to scream at you because texturally it's so good. The apricots are lovely and juicy. The batter is light. The contrast is absolutely perfect. And you made such a blunder by not putting sugar in a dessert.
Yeah.
It feels right in your mouth. If you bite down, you get the deep apricot, you get the sharp of the creme fraiche, you're left with the batter, you're expecting a sugar rush, and nothing happens.
Has Jason managed to put flavour into his starter of crab cakes and Thai dipping sauce and his main of roast chicken with mushroom sauce, fried potatoes and pancetta?
I'd like a little bit more sharpness maybe in the way of citrus, and I'd like a little bit more chilli heat. Exactly the same problems as your dish yesterday.
Okay, go on.
It's a bit flabby and it's a bit sweet rather than being zingy and exciting. It should be and not a bit.
Okay. Let's bring the main in.
Beautifully cooked chicken. Potatoes need seasoning. And the mushroom sauce is just a little bit there, a little bit not.
I'm getting a slight hint of this wild mushroom sauce, only a slight hint, because the potatoes are nicking everything.
Okay.
Will Nova be able to impress with her elaborate dishes? Pan-fried asparagus with duck egg, hollandaise sauce, white truffle oil dressing and parmesan, followed by pan-fried halibut on samphire with a cockle and mussel white wine sauce.
I get asparagus, duck egg and parmesan cheese. The hollandaise is not punchy enough. Do your hollandaise really well, Nova. you don't need to do Parmesan truffle oil. It feels as though you're putting 1 or 2 ingredients more than the dish needs on a plate.
What I get is iron asparagus, rich egg yolk and cheese. In equal measure, nicely balanced, but I wonder where the hollandaise went, and I wonder where on earth the truffle oil went.
To main course,
I think you have very good flavours in there. Sweet mussel, salty cockle, salty samphire. Nice flavours.
again, I feel as though there is an ingredient too many. Beautifully cooked, sweet, soft mussel. Wonderful, crunchy samphire. It's a good dish. I think you're trying too hard, Nova.
Yeah. I'm bored with my food. I'm very bored and I want to turn it into something that stuns me.
If you're bored with what you're cooking, right, then how are you going to make that exciting enough to make us excited about you?
Thank you very much. Off you go.
MasterChef, quarter-final place. I want to talk about Jason because today the crab cakes, I think, has proved to me that there is not enough in his palate. And I think almost the same with the chicken. It just wasn't full of flavour.
Yesterday, we both told him you haven't got enough chili heat in here and you haven't got enough citrus zing. Today, we try the fish cakes, and again, we say exactly the same thing to him. I don't mind people making mistakes, but the same two again the next day?
I'm quite happy with what I've done, and if I'm happy with what I've done, you know, that's the best I can do.
Jason's got to go.
Now it's between Nova and Julie.
Julie, she's got undercooked potatoes, and she's got that lovely clafouti without any sweetness in it at all.
I really, really want to go through, but if I did, it would be on a wing and a prayer.
But Julie thinks like a cook who could go a very long way in this competition if she stops the stupid little mistake. Sugar to your clafouti and cook your potato. That's it. Fantastic food. Sea bass was beautiful. Sauce, wonderful. Come on.
Nova?
It is an unsure person who decides to add another ingredient, another ingredient, another ingredient, because actually they're not cooking each thing as well as it should be cooked, because she hasn't seasoned her hollandaise properly. And that's why there's truffle oil and salty parmesan on it.
The combination of starter of asparagus, cheese and the duck egg was lovely. It was well balanced, it tasted great. I love the flavours in our main course.
It would mean a huge amount if I got through to the quarter-final, so it would be an amazing achievement.
But she made the fatal mistake of telling us that she's bored with her food. If you're bored with your food, how are you going to cook brilliant food? How are you going to inspire anybody? No, I'm really sorry. You can't be bored with your own food in MasterChef.
But there are no big glaring mistakes. You can hardly see Julie behind the pile of mistakes.
Listen, we've got to agree. Nova or Julie?
Our quarter-finalist is Julie.
Congratulations.
They have just 1 hour to cook a 2-course meal of their own design. Only one of them will win a place in the quarter-final.
OK, tell us what you're going to make for us.
A monkfish wrap and a champagne and tarragon cream sauce. And then for pudding, I'm making a banana and coconut bread and butter pudding.
Are you going to show us today that you can actually cook, not just flavour?
I am going to show you that I can cook and hopefully prove to you that there's so much more to come.
Emma has got some quite exciting food.
Bread and butter pudding. If that comes out looking as gorgeous as it sounds, I'm going to stick my whole head in it.
Johnny is making a rustic meal of trout rillette with pea shoot salad and duck with parsnip cream and orange gravy.
What sort of cook are you, Johnny?
Ever improving. Every day should be a learning experience for everybody, and I've learned loads in 2 days. I think I can learn even more.
Who are you doing this for?
I'm doing this for me and my 2 kids.
A rillette, a rough pâté. If that's flavoured well, it will be just elegant and absolutely delicious.
Flavour's the second one? Duck, parsnip and orange, bitter and sweet. My reserve judgment. You're halfway. You've had half an hour. What are you cooking, Sarah?
I'm doing rack of lamb with lavender, hot pot style potatoes.
What's the dessert?
It's a strawberry mousse with balsamic vinegar and rose water.
And balsamic and rose water together? What does that do?
All I can say is I've tried it. I think it works all right, and hopefully when you taste it, you might be surprised.
Have you got enough time to get this done, Sarah, the way you want it?
I should be OK if I can get on with it.
What worries me about Sarah is her nerves, which means that your timing won't get right, that things won't be cooked properly.
Why do we want balsamic and rose water with a strawberry mousse? I don't know. I have no idea. That's uncharted waters for me. Finishing touches now, 1 minute left. Time's up, guys.
Will Emma's adventurous style pay off with monkfish wrap with cauliflower puree and a champagne and tarragon cream sauce, followed by a coconut and banana bread and butter pudding?
Your fish feels watery. I can't crown it a great dish. Neither can I say it's a disaster.
I quite like the concept. I like the way it's been presented. You're either an absolute master at blending flavours or you're a risky girl.
You're going to bring in your pudding? I think that looks fantastic. Not quite, because it's banana. Such a strong flavour that bullies the soft almonds and the coconut out of it.
The idea, I applaud, really. The way in which you're doing stuff, Emma, it just shows a sign of somebody who really thinks about what they're doing.
Johnny's dream of a quarter-final place rests on a starter of brown trout rillette with a pea shoot salad, followed by duck breast with a parsnip cream and orange gravy.
It's quite velvety, but it hasn't delivered on that full fish flavour that I thought was going to get out of it.
So subtle, it's almost disappearing. I like it. It does need more flavour.
From starter to main course, the first thing that gets you is that lovely, creamy, delicious parsnip puree, but then right at the last minute I think, oh no, there's not that much flavour in there from the orange. There's just this subtleness of orange again. Fantastic. Fantastic.
I get no orange tang at all, which I think is a shame. But what I do get, I really like.
Can you take your food up one more step and really deliver the flavour you need to deliver, Johnny?
I'm here to learn and to develop and to go up a scale every time I hopefully get through this competition, which is what I want to do.
Sarah has cooked lamb with hot pot potatoes and spinach, and a strawberry mousse with rose water and balsamic vinegar.
This lamb is far too rare for me. Your style, I think, is honest, and it's bold, and it's good. Flavour of good lamb. Black pudding comes in, steaming in, but this is an issue.
You've cooked very well. Most of the stuff is cooked very well. But the lamb will always sit for a long time on the side, get in the oven, get it cooked.
We're going to bring in this pudding. I don't taste balsamic, but I guess it's adding to the deep, deep sweetness.
It's just a little teeny bit marinated in the strawberries.
That's clever. I really, really love that.
Thank you very much.
It's a good mousse.
Thank you.
It's a very good mousse.
Thank you. We'll get you back in as soon as we can. Off you go.
Quarter-final place at stake. We know what people had to do today. We've got some strong cooks in this room.
We are in that strange position where we have strength and weakness in equal measure through all three.
The person who had the most to prove today was definitely Emma. Not only can she pack flavour into food, as she did yesterday, but she can actually cook things well. Her fish was cooked beautifully.
Emma's fish didn't really work for me. I didn't understand why I didn't have a crispy outside with my ham. The fish was a bit watery.
But technically, it was quite an interesting dish, and it is out of her own mind.
Pudding was a lovely idea. She packed it with so much robust sweet banana, it just knocks it sideways.
I think she does try to pack lots of flavour into her food. I think, actually, she's got lots of potential. Shall we talk about Johnny? That trout rillette, that rough pâté, it was the trout that didn't have the flavour in it.
It didn't deliver enough flavour.
His duck, however, I thought was brilliant. But that orange sauce should have been a plenty rather than just an essence, as he called it. But everything was done so well, presented beautifully, cooked very well.
The approach doesn't need refining. It's the flavour that needs to be squeezed into there.
He knows what he wants. It's just a matter of whether it is enough to make him a quarter-finalist. Let's talk about Sarah.
I like Sarah right from the start. She showed promise for me. And she had a very, very strong kitchen round. Very strong.
I was concerned about her nerves today. It was the one thing I thought was going to let her down.
That lamb was atrocious.
The cooking in the first instance is the most important part. You have to serve lamb which is cooked. That's simple. But Sarah is a girl who's been concentrating on technique, studying the lamb and making these little potatoes and that real technical strawberry mousse.
That dessert was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It was light, it was bursting with strawberry flavour, really sweet. The balsamic must have given it that. But it was that hint of rose water. That was a dreamy hint.
So, they've all got strengths, they've all got weaknesses. Who will it be? And our quarter-finalist is Johnny. Congratulations.
Well done, Frank. Well done.